John, I'll start with you. What do you think of the game and how it unfolded yesterday afternoon?
Good result in the end, really. But I think performance-wise, it was pretty good, all things considered. Obviously, 3 months off. You never know how players are really going to come back. They only had a short period, really, altogether back on the training pitch. But they all looked in good nick. I think Hughes and obviously Dawson, standout performers yesterday. But look, Ben Foster as well. He's come back. Doesn't look like he's been away for 3 months at all. Ben, some of that save he got down to his left and tapped down the post was incredible. But overall, encouraging. We could have nicked it, really. If Decore had scored that one in the first half, it could have gone a different way, the game. But overall, I think a draw was a fair result. Leicester, who are flying high, really. So I don't think we can have too many complaints. And what a way to get the draw. Dawson overhead kick. What made me giggle about that was his interview after, where he said, "Oh, you practice those in training." I never played with a centre back that practiced overhead kick.
Do you know what? I thought Nicky might come out of retirement.
Yeah.
God, you imagine Colin Foster trying to do that back in the mid-90s. Blimey.
Well, he wouldn't have had to jump off the ground. He would have just hooked it over his shoulder.
That's it. The guy with the longest legs ever. Got a posse. Brilliant. The original posse, by the way. The original posse.
If anybody deserved to score that game, it was Dawson, because he was incredible.
Yeah.
He really
was. And
when
you look back at the game, I think Cavaselli looked a little bit nervous to me. A few errors. He looked a little bit nervous on the ball. Not his sort of normal self, really. So whether the break and sort of the atmosphere around the stadium had a little bit to do with that, I'm not sure. But Dawson was a rock at the back and held everything together.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, definitely.
Indeed. The one thing I've got to praise is how well we kept Jamie Vardy quiet yesterday.
Yeah, kept giving him a sniffer. I think he must have had. I think he had one-on-one. Apart from that, he was very quiet. And again, that's hats off to the boys for dealing with him, because he's a massive threat with his pace and likes to get him behind. So, and we dealt with it, and that's credit to the lads for stopping him, because that was clearly the game plan. That's what it seemed like. Stop Vardy, and you stop Leicester. And apart from the wonder strike by Chilwell, they didn't really have much to offer. So credit to the boys.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I've got to be honest, I was a bit miffed with our defending for that Chilwell goal, because I don't understand, and I've watched it back 3 or 4 times. I can't understand what Mariappa's doing, almost playing back. I'm sure we didn't change the formation when he came on.
No. But the build-up to it, like the build-up, Johnny Evans just walking with the ball into our half, like, stop him. He's the centre back. He's walking the ball, picks out Chilwell, and Chilwell says, "Right, nobody's sacking him. I'm having the pot." No, it ends up in the top corner, and then we're thinking in the worst thing. Oh, here we go again.
In fairness to Maps, though, I think he'd only sort of just come on. He was in that right back spot. Chilwell's going to bomb on, but I think Maps had sort of gone to cover the centre backs a little bit, and he's probably just gone in a little bit too much and left that space in behind. But I wouldn't put too much. It was not great positioning, but I'll give him a break because I love Maps. I think he's
we all love Maps.
Oh, I love Maps. I think the thing is, though, as well, on his part, I mean, I was critical of Maps for his positioning, like you said, but I think also the centre-backs could have said, look, you've got to push over a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. There could have been a call to say, oi, check over your shoulder quickly in case someone's running in. But, it happens. It's football. We make mistakes. And we got the perfect get-out-of-jail-free card when someone decided to do an overhead kick in.
Yeah, we did, man. Fully deserved as well. I think the performance merited that.
Yeah.
It was good result in the end.
It was a fantastic result, especially with Bournemouth losing, Villa losing today, West Ham losing yesterday. It's the perfect start for us.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think come the end of the season, that could be a massive point. I said at the start, 3 wins and a draw, I think will get us safe. So there's the draw.
Yeah,
I genuinely don't think we couldn't have done a lot more, considering the amount of time we've had off. and how hard the boys put a shift in, I generally think we couldn't do much more than that, to be honest.
And it must be difficult as a manager as well, knowing sort of, because we've got so many games now in close proximity, knowing who to pull off, who to give a rest. You can see players struggling a little bit physically, so it's going to be a fully a squad effort now, team effort. So I think he's shown, bringing Kapue off, Decore off, he's not frightened of making those decisions. So that little rest they got towards the end, we've got the result. They've had a little bit of rest. They're going to be fresh going into Thursday now. So with a little bit more game time under everyone's belt. So I think Kiko was outstanding, really, fitness wise, considering he'd been out for so long before even lockdown. So I think his performance deserves a bit of a mention as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, mate. Gary Iron, funny enough, happy Father's Day, Gary Iron. That's his old man. Shout out to Callie and Gibbo there on as well. Do you guys think I'll throw this out to all of you. Johnno first. Do you think Nigel needs to put some younger players on the bench, as we can use 5 subs?
We've got some on there, haven't we? We've got quite a young squad anyway. So I was maybe sort of home games. You could look at Penaranda and João Pedro to blood him in, but it's difficult. We've got so much at stake. I think if we win the next 2 games, then maybe it gives us a little bit of breathing space and a little bit of freedom to maybe do that. But for the next games, until we get to this safety point where we know we're safe, I think you've got to go with the stronger squad that we've got, personally.
Because apart from obviously Delafeu, Yama and Success to an extent, we've got a pretty much fully fit squad. So you might as well just use all the players you've got. And then, like Johnno said, you need to get safe first. But then also, even if the point where we are safe, you don't want to put the youngsters in, because you know what happens. Momentum carries on. We found out last season, the bad end we had last season carried on to this season. You want to just keep winning, and that's what friendlies and cup matches for. Try and out players. You can't. In my opinion, you don't need to use them in the league and stuff. But
every club wants to bring on youth and bring players through the academy and everything. But true. I think with everything that's at stake, and it's like literally a mini tournament now to the end of the season, I don't think personally it is the time to be bringing on young kids just to experiment. We need results, and we need a fully experienced squad that's going to get you those results.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. I would like to see some of the youngsters like Sequina, João Pedro, Panaranda, but I don't think now's the right time. I think this afternoon during the Villa game, I think Alan Smith said something like everyone's saying 36 points is going to be enough to stay up. Then we're not far off that. So, I completely agree with Johnno. Let's get to near enough the safety point and know we're safe, and then say, right, you know what, a couple of you boys coming from the cold, let's give you 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and start bedding you in for getting you ready for next season.
Yeah, and I think with the games we've got coming up, obviously Burnley away is a tough trip with the travel and everything. So I'm not sure whether they'll be staying overnight or what the go is there. But the games we've got coming up, Burnley, Southampton at home. Although Southampton looked pretty good the other night, I must say, it's a team that you think you could get something from. We've got Norwich, Newcastle. We need to be winning those games with the teams that are sort of around us to get us that safety mark. Then maybe the last couple of games, if we know we're safe, then you can bring those young kids on and look to build, because there's only going to be a short break between the end of this season and next season anyway. So I think it's important to secure this season and then look ahead to next after that.
Yeah, you can give the players that we had to play a breather. I completely agree, mate. That'd probably be the best time to actually do it. Paul Wittenbury says, my aunt lived in Johnno's old house in St Albans and she used to fancy him. So that's a shout out to his auntie.
Who's that?
That's Paul Wittenbury is shouted out. Apparently you had a fan in his auntie, apparently. So. I thought I'd shout that out.
We'll
as
move
well.
on from that one.
Yeah. Sorry. Di Thomas is on as well. Your old friend Di Thomas as well. 97
No,
98.
legend.
Yeah, the legend. Shout out to Roy.
Can they hear this, or is it just us?
No, they can hear it. It's live, mate.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So,
Pidge, one for you, mate. I think there's been a goal in the Merseyside derby, and you're going to be happy with it.
Ooh.
at the Pidge Classico.
I'm just trying to find out because a mate of mine's messaged me.
What minute? I'm watching on my phone. It's 21 minutes gone on my phone. There's no goals on mine.
I wonder if someone's having a
delayed.
Is that pulling your leg, I reckon?
Yeah, no, it's Andy from Nottingham. He's having a wind up with everyone.
I'll tell you what, I was on Mikey Bell's chat with the Hornets up north, and they were about a minute ahead of me. So I was saying, please tell me we've scored. So they're all celebrating, and they said, "What?" They said, "Just wait until you see this goal. I'm not going to tell you what it's about." And then I saw the overhead kick. So I'm watching. It's 0-0. Paul said. Kevin Laura, big shout out to Roy and the 1881 flag display, immense, best I've seen so far. Yeah, definitely.
Incredible.
Brilliant.
What was it? They only failed to cover 500 seats in the whole stadium. That's just absolutely madness.
Crazy.
Fair play.
It was good.
Getting them all the banners out. Fair play.
I spent the most of Friday with the seats in the grill, northwest in the corner there. And the new seats by the Rookery and Elton's, we covered them with scarves. So we just laid scarves over all of those.
Yeah.
They showed them on TV. Yeah, they showed them on TV.
Did they? Yeah, we put scarves over the seats under the sensory room. And then we put kids' shirts over the banners in Sir Elton John's, just so. And there was only a few rows left at the top. So it was a fantastic effort. I know it was sad not seeing the fans in there, but those banners, and I've got to say, I've watched pretty much all the other games, and I think our stadium looked the best. I know I'm a little bit biased, but I think there was such a more diverse sort of range of banner. I think all the others look pretty corporate.
Yeah.
Whereas we've got the 1881 and all the individual banners, the Hertfordshire banners and all that, and I think that it was pretty special how the ground looked.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, mate. It just looked a little bit different. Like you said, it didn't look as corporate, and there was little touches all over the place, including the goal celebration cam as well, and certain songs being played, and it made it look as much as there was fans in there without actual fans. Probably the best they could do, including yourself, you and everyone, and staying there and helping out. It's absolutely amazing. It really, really did make it look picturesque for them, and it helped covering all the seats as well. So obviously,
yeah, no, it was good. It has been good. I think obviously in the lead up to, I didn't obviously listen to the coverage or anything, but so I'm not sure what was said. But I know the club has been sort of taken aback really on the support and the community spirit that has been around Watford. Obviously, the stadium opening up to the hospital and supporting the NHS, and what the club have done to do that. But I think that we've got lots of business partners, advertising partners they're helping towards support the NHS and provide the meals and food, and those companies that were donating food to help. At one point, they were producing about between 1,200 and 1,400 meals a day.
That's incredible.
At the NHS.
Nice, I was chatting to Samuel Stedman over that, and it was just absolutely amazing when they told us the extent, like you were saying, about how much they were creating. It's like, bloody hell. I mean, Watford are known as a community club, but that's really going far beyond. Sorry, John, go on, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, and you look behind the scenes. I know Gibbo's on now, and Luther, there was Tommy Mooney, Steve Palmer, all ex-players, current players, the coaching staff, who were ringing season ticket holders in that sort of vulnerable category, if you like, just checking in, making sure they were all right. And it actually got me through my weeks, because you hear some fantastic stories of supporters who've been supporting the club since the 1920s. You go that far back. So some of the stories you listen to and what they had to say, and they've obviously seen the club progress to where it is now, and there's third, fourth generation family members still supporting the club. So it's been amazing.
That's amazing, and thank you and all the players that rung up people, because I know people that got phone calls as well from the likes of yourself and thing, and they're absolutely touched by the generosity of just everyone in particular. And even like you said, even a phone call brightens up their day and gives you an insight as well, doesn't it? So
yeah, 100%.
Not saying you don't appreciate it, but it helps you through your week.
As a player, it's just something that you take for granted. You never think about.
No.
You turn up and play on a weekday, but it's the actual sort of, especially now, me being on the other side, working on the commercial side, still working for the club, but it's something that I see week in, week out, how much supporters bring to the football club. If we didn't have supporters, we wouldn't have a football club.
Yeah.
So,
and personally, from a personal point of view, it's always fantastic hearing from you. And whenever you're at the ground, you never fail to stop and say hello to every single fan. You've said hello. You never too arrogant to come and say hello to me or all the fans. And the little touches like that as well. Is just makes us all feel appreciated, which we never thought we didn't feel appreciated, but it's nice.
Yeah.
So that's
Johnno,
a personal thank you.
How do you think you and when you was playing, how do you think you and the boys would have coped if coronavirus happened in your day? How do you think you would have coped?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to take it on sort of individual basis. Like every player's got a different attitude, a different personality. I'm pretty laid back in some respects, and you sort of just deal with it as you find it. But I honestly don't know until you're in that situation. I know when I was playing, it was a little bit different culture in terms of fitness and sports science and all that. But I think the players nowadays, their diets are on point. They had their individual programs. There was none of this. Zoom. They had Zoom training sessions. We didn't have any of this. So it would have been left up to your own sort of personal training program, and it would have been left up to yourself to make sure that you come back in the best nick that you could. But it's a difficult one to answer, really. Because
it's the same for everyone, isn't it? None of us could have expected anything like this to happen. So it's a case of a lot of people were out of work for some time, and obviously schools closing, obviously football not being on. It's just so surreal, really.
Crazy times, and it's difficult to
and obviously
comprehend really what's actually gone on.
Me and the Missy just seen we were meant to be getting married in July. Obviously, it's not happening, so it's all all the years planning. We were planning to get married.
The good you can take from that is that you've just spent 3 months in lockdown and you're still together. So it's going to work.
I have to live. I have to see her every day. It's bad enough, isn't it?
Becky's permanently had an escape at the moment, so she's had a bit of an escape until finally after wedding. She's finally has the wedge out. So.
She's coming in. She's all wrecked.
If there was ever going to be any test of a relationship, it's a pandemic. So you've done well.
Yeah. No, I've done all right.
Seal of approval from the Lord and Saviour.
Exactly.
No, she's a teacher, so she's not been happy to go back. So
okay.
Yeah. So
my little fella goes back 4 days from Monday.
So
they've just been 2 days for the last 3 weeks, but they go back Monday to Thursday from now on.
Yeah.
He's not happy either.
No, I bet he is, but just good luck to him.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I wasn't too pleased going back, but I know I'm just praying there's no, God forbid, there's no second spark or anything, because it's. I know people have been on the wards, and it's not something that I'm very excited to go about doing, but I know it's gonna. I know if it has to happen, I've got to do it. So.
Well, that's what we do. That's going to be the big test, especially after the last sort of month or so. We had that beautiful weather, didn't we? And everybody was on the beaches and tourist spots, and then the demonstrations. So it's going to be the next month, 6 weeks, be the telling point to that. If it does come back, if we do get a second spike, we'll know after about a month, I think.
Yeah, very true. I mean, we've only had one game since we've come back after the pandemic. But Johnno, what do you think? And I'll throw this out to you guys as well. How do you think this point bodes well for the confidence, for the rest of the games. I think Moobs was stating that we've got about 8 or 9 games to go. So, I mean, it's obviously better than returning with a defeat. But based on the performance and how we finished it, like I say, how do you think it's boded well? Do you think it's boded well for the rest of the season?
Come to me or the lads?
Yeah, Johnno, yeah. Sorry.
Listen, I said before, I think it was, all things considering, I think the performance was fantastic, really. I think Will Hughes in midfield. I love Will anyway. I love his attitude.
He's a little warrior. Will Hughes is a little warrior.
But he's comfortable just sitting in that little bit deeper role as well next to Capoue. But he's also brilliant in the little number 10 slot, getting in those little pockets. But I think overall, obviously the break, we had Kiko was injured, Holobas was injured, we had Cleverly out for a long time, Welbeck. It's given those guys a chance to get back fit.
Yeah.
I think Danny Welbeck could have a big part to play if we can keep him fit. A little bit of support in that sort of front three area. He can come in from that left-hand side, or he can be a target man up the front. So, I was. I know Craig Cathcart was bitterly disappointed to miss out, but he just had a bit of a knock, and they didn't want to risk him. But gave Dawson an opportunity, and look what he did. He took it with both hands, didn't he? So,
it's immense.
Listen, I've got no fears of us going forward. I think we've got enough going forward in the team, but it's just we've got to make sure that we're solid at the back and not letting in silly goals or cutting out as least sort of individual errors as we can. But I always thought, even halfway through the season when we weren't going great, I still felt that we had enough within the squad, the players that we've got to be safe come the end.
It's easy to say, isn't it, as Watford fans, we're too good to go down. But I generally think the squad we've got, we should not be where we are. But that's obviously down to stuff, that happened in the summer. Should have gone in the summer? Who knows? But obviously, the bad start we had is obviously it's always going to be hard for teams to pick up a lot of points to stay at that. But obviously, Nigel's come in, re-galvanised the side, and looking like now we're gonna have enough to stay up.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I think with Nigel coming in, his approach to just getting back to basics, really.
That's all it was. That's all it was. Just
when you look at when he came back in, players like Jared Delafeu tracking back, tackling in the left back spot or right back, wherever he was, you wouldn't have seen that in the previous weeks, And I think he got everybody together. He's obviously put an arm around the player that needs an arm around. He's given a bollocking to whoever needs a boy, and I think he's got a bit of an aura about him to say, look, don't mess about. This is in your hands. Bit of hard work, bit of hard graft, and you can go where you want.
I think Kiko, I was looking at him the first 20 minutes, and you could say there was a bit of rust, but I think also on his part, he was getting caught out a lot because they identified that side. But I think, to be honest, on his defence, I think once Sarr and a couple of players came over and took their turn into sort of covering him, because he was overrun on that right. He looked a better player after that. I think, especially after the first restart, the first 25 minutes. After that, I thought Kiko really grew into the game.
Yeah, he
did. He did. And that's because me personally, I like Kiko before lockdown when he played those games on the left.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah.
He's excellent.
I thought he was better on the left. I don't know whether it was a conscious thing where, when he's naturally right-footed, he feels he can break forward. And he used to get caught out quite a bit with the ball in between the centre-back and him, with the players running off the line. But on the left-hand side, he's consciously tucking in a little bit more onto his right foot, and he never really got caught with those balls.
No, but I think left-back now, I think Messina's made that left-back position his own now, I think.
Yeah. No, he's done well.
He's another player that Pearson's, completely changed around. I mean, since Pearson's come in, Messina's been probably the player of the season, in my opinion, since Pearson come in terms of, he's been a squad player before Pearson come in. Since come in, I think he's started every game or all but one game since he's come in. He's been brilliant.
Listen, that goes hand in hand with playing games. If you're just
100%.
coming off the bench for 20 minutes, 15 minutes here and there, you never get a rhythm. You never get into a game. And when you look at Sarr, what the difference he was when he started playing.
Yeah.
Under Kiko, he never really played. He wasn't on the bench half the time. But as soon as he got game time, gets to understand the English game physically and the pace of it, look at the difference he's made.
Yeah.
And he's only going to go on and get stronger.
He can only get better, so that's a scary thing. He can only get better.
Right, we've got Sarah
playing games.
Yeah, true, very true, mate. Sarah Jane Thorpe said, "Hello, Johnno. I sponsored your shirt in the 99-2000 season. Absolute legend."
Awesome, thank you.
That's right. That's it. Stuart Higgins, all the way in Ireland, said, "Remember Johnno's rocket goal on the opening game of the season at home? Can't remember the year. I think it was Wimbledon, but I think I could be wrong. I think it was the Sheffield United one. I think he's on about."
I was going to say Wimbledon. That was an own goal. The Premiership.
Yeah, own goal. Best game. Yeah.
God, I don't feel so bad as saying you were still at Wilston now after he'd done that.
It was a rocket though.
You and Chris Day forgot how to talk for 2 seconds, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
He did.
He did, yeah. Okay.
I said that to Johnno. Yeah, I said that to Johnno already, and I said that, and I even said that when I think I met you in the bunker, and I said I'm not saying this just because I'm face to face with you, but as a goalkeeper, and I did it as Sunday League, you should be commanding your area, and I said that to Chris as well. I PM'd him. I said, look, I don't want to take no offence, mate, but I thought honestly between the two of you. I thought you were going to get it before Johnno, and Johnno was waiting for you.
And then Johnno just smashes it into the net.
We had a few words at half time, but listen, I should have probably dealt with it when I saw that he wasn't coming for it. But never mind, it's gone now.
Yeah,
exactly. I've done it when someone said, "Oh look, I've just taken the blame off," and said, "Look, I should have cleared it." And the guy who was actually wrong, the centre back, when I was right back from Sunday League, said, "No, I should have done it." And yeah, you all at the end of it, you have a sort of F and this and F and that, and then you all sort of kiss and make up, don't you?
Yeah, just one of them things. Never mind.
Can you remember your goal against Man United that season, Johnno? Rocket.
Yeah, I can. You said Gibbo's on, didn't you? It was Gibbo's cross.
Yeah, it was rocket.
You had a good story with Mark Bosnich, didn't you? You shared with us the last time.
Yeah, we did. Couldn't really celebrate because we were 4-0 down at the time, I think.
Yeah. But I mean, not many players can say they've scored a goal at that Old Trafford. So
yeah, so just shortly, probably about 2 weeks after that, I think I got called up for my first Aussie squad.
Yeah,
and he was sat in front of me on the coach going to training that next morning when we all landed in Sydney, and I sort of sat behind him and just tapped him on the shoulder and gave him a smile, and he sort of just between the seats, you just see the finger come back like that. Give me the bird on the bus, but yeah.
That was probably the best tapping. That's probably one of your only tappings.
Yeah.
It was a tapping on Johnno's standard. Right, talking about
inside the box, it's a tapping in Johnno's standard.
Anything inside the box, anything 30 yards out is a tapping.
Yeah.
But Capoue, well, shall we say the French Johnson? He said Capoue had a poor game. 2 out of the 2 or 3 good passes, not much more. But to be honest, he's been absolutely sensational this season, isn't he?
He's been amazing. He's been probably a standout midfielder, really, most consistent anyway this season. And when you look back at last season, when he was in and out of the team, and you can see his head down a little bit. But yeah, he's been incredible, and I think with him it's all on the mental side with him. If you get him in a good frame of mind, if he's up for the game and you give him a bit of encouragement and he's playing well, then he can dictate the pace of games at will. He's got that much ability. But I think when you watch him, he can look frustrating at times because he's got a sort of a gangly run, and he doesn't look bothered sometimes. But both feet, his passing range is just incredible. But yeah, he's going to be a massive influence for the running, so we need him firing on all cylinders. Really. And hopefully that's just blown the cobwebs out at the weekend, and he'll get back to where he was.
Yeah, I know Moves will want to throw something out. I do apologise, Moves. I just want to throw one more thing out because I know I've hogged it out of Moves. And I know Moves want to ask a couple of questions. But the Brentford goal he scored, very reminiscent of a certain Mr. Johnson on years gone by. The one in the friendly. Nice little top corner effort.
Who's that, sorry?
The Capoue goal he scored against Brentford in the warm-up game last week. Very reminiscent of a nice little... I think it's probably bread and butter shot for you back in the mid-90s, wasn't
it? That's what frustrates me the most, though. They've all got it in the locker.
Yeah.
Doucouré's got a strike on him. Capoue's got a strike. Will Hughes can score from outside the box. They don't do it enough. They try and walk it in too many times. But, it just fell to him nice. He had so much space in front of him, and it was a nice, clean connection. And keeper had no chance really. But I wish they would do it a lot more than what they do.
Did you ever practice when you was playing, Johnny? Did you ever practice your long shots, or was it just a case of I know I can shoot, I'm just going to do it?
In training, in practice matches and that, you used to just have a crack. But I don't know. It was just sort of natural, really. I was probably too lazy to get further up the pitch, so I just had a shot from wherever I was.
Yeah. Didn't need to.
No.
Moods.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Hello, mate.
Hello.
Oh, you didn't realise you were there, me. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, it's all right, Dan. I've just been sitting there quietly. It's been great. I'm enjoying listening. There is one question I would say with regards to looking at Thursday's game. Would you swap Hughesy and Doucouré over and say Doucouré to come back and sit next to Capoue and let Hughesy go up in like the old number 10, like behind the front two, as they say, or would you keep it as it is?
Tough one. I think I would keep it as is. I think Doucouré he's a little bit better at breaking into the box, if you like, and getting on the second balls and getting those little shots away inside the box. Whereas Will's a bit more of a playmaker, and he can play with his back to goal as well. But Doucouré sort of breaks forward a little bit more, I think, to break the back line or get behind the defence. So personally, I would keep it the same because Will can defend. He's got the discipline to sit there. He doesn't mind getting stuck in. He makes a tackle. But you look on the other hand of that, Cleverly coming on, the energy he's got, he gives us another dimension when he's playing, in that Doucouré role, if you like, because he can press from the front. Whereas Doucouré will sort of let the play build a little bit, whereas Cleverly puts defenders under pressure and can break play up a lot better. So I think that's our strongest part of the field, but without a doubt, the midfield, we've got so many options in there and players that can do everything, can receive the ball, can play long passes, can play the short game, can score goals. So I think we're blessed. Even Chalobah, I thought, has been a little bit unlucky because he did well before the lockdown.
He was just about getting there, wasn't he?
Yeah. So we've got so many options in midfield. It's incredible, but it's a good sort of position to be in if you're the manager. But yeah, you're right. Going away from home, you look at it a little bit different. The good thing is we've got options basically. So
Moods, would you bring Welbeck in for Pereira?
I'd be tempted, but on the flip side of that, I would like to give Pereira an absolute rocket and say, what the hell was that performance in the first half on yesterday? Because I wasn't impressed with it one bit, and it sort of looked to me like he didn't look interested.
No.
And if you're not going to be interested right now, we're in the fight of our lives. I'm like, well, there's something you can sit on it.
Yeah.
I'll put someone in that is going to put up a fight, but it is a tough one to call because ideally you want someone with that bit of pace to run at the right back, but then you've got someone like Welbeck who could come in and just cause chaos between a centre back and a right back by running in and out of them. So it's a tough one, but I'd probably be tempted to give Welbeck a try and see what happens. But if it don't come off, then say, right, you're going to have to come off and I'll put Pereira on and see what happens.
Don't forget Passetto as well.
I can't forget that point as well. He's, he was just starting to find his feet a little.
Yeah,
but,
it was just slowly. Yeah.
But yeah,
I think you got to be a little bit cautious with Welbeck. Everybody knows sort of what a talent he is and everything, but to throw him in at the start of it, I think he's better coming off the bench at the moment, just to sort of build that fitness up and get him through games.
A bit more of an impact.
Yeah, but the good thing is now you can say to players, because we've got 5 subs now, you only get 3 opportunities to play 5 subs, but we've got 5 subs. You can say to Danny Welbeck, go on, give us 35 minutes of all you got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can go out, give it a blast, and then you've got opportunities to change people around. So there's definitely options, but I'd be a little bit cautious with Welbeck personally, with his injury sort of record.
Yeah. Would you, Johnno, would you keep the same side going into, believe Thursday night, or would you make little tweaks? Would you bring anyone in?
Personally, I'd keep the same side. But yeah, that's just my decision. I think we've got 9 games to go. As much consistency as you can get is going to be a benefit. I think if you go in making 2 or 3 changes per game, it could unsettle a few people in terms of how they play and positional wise, partnerships and communication and all that sort of thing. So I would personally try and keep as settled side as I could. So, and you've got to think that's our first game back in 3 months, and I think the players that definitely started the game deserve another chance.
Yeah,
it's weird because I played at Stoke City for a little bit when I left Watford, and Tony Pulis there. He had an away side and he had a home side, so he didn't mind doing that. The home side, he very rarely had an influence of sort of a defensive midfielder. He used to change it round, whereas I played pretty much all the away games and sat in there as a defensive midfielder. So you get managers like that, but it'll be interesting to see what he does do. But I personally would keep the same starting 11.
Right. That's good, mate. We've got a question for you. Bit of a legends one for you. What is your greatest game when involved with Watford?
Well, it's obviously there's 3 really, but the ultimate one is obviously the playoff final at Wembley.
Yeah.
As a young boy growing up in Australia, you dream of playing at Wembley, albeit it was an FA Cup final I wanted to play in, but the playoff one was a nice second best. But making my debut at 17 away to Cambridge, that was a special moment. My parents made it over for that game. But atmosphere-wise was the second leg of the playoff final, the semi-final against Birmingham.
Oh, yeah.
Where we ended up winning on penalties. The atmosphere that night, I've never experienced anything like it. Their fans were amazing, to be honest. But our fans behind that goal in that corner, the night and how we ended up getting through was just,
Obviously, Chambo was the hero that night, I think.
Yeah, well, he was a hero all through that season, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was special night. So, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Wembley game.
Okay, and the Luton one came a close 4th then, obviously, the 4-0.
Yeah. yeah.
Don't swear. That is a swear word.
I know. We're allowed one of those words. Just about. We have to, when we put this on YouTube now, we have to put it down for not suitable for kids now because we said that.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple of people, yeah, true, mate. A couple of people putting Cathcart if fit over Cabaselli, but
yeah, I was thinking that as well. If there was going to be a change, that would be the only one I'd make because Cabaselli, like Moob said, looked a bit shaky throughout the game.
Yeah, but I think, on the subject of Welbeck, would you rush Cathcart in after that game or give him another game's rest and then bring him in? Would that be easier?
Yeah, look, it's all about opinions. That's why we have these conversations. Everybody's got their own opinion on it. I really like Cavaselli as a player, although he has got sort of a little bit of maybe one error a game at least.
Yeah, he's always got a mistake in him, sadly.
But if he can sort of get that consistency in his game, I really like him. And I'll give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt on the first game, coming back after 3 months. He did look a little bit shaky, but I'd keep him in. I know it's hard on Cathcart, but that's how injuries go, really. Players get opportunities, so, yeah.
Oh, right. And also, especially if as soon as Cathcart's bit, he'd be right out on it anyway. So, it's a good headache to have, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think the one game I'd unleash Cathcart on is Southampton, because if they play Shane Long, those two do not like each other one little bit. And
after what Shane Long did to him last season, after scoring after about 5 seconds, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more added to it now, because I think that personally they want to kick the hell out of each other for about 40 minutes. So I'd be tempted to say then, like, go on, go and kick him again. Like, go and kick about 5 or 6 kicks and
don't concede after 10 seconds again. We'll be right.
Yeah.
I still blame the pass from midfield off the kickoff from that, because that was just shocking. All we had to do was send it forward, and we decided to go and play it backwards.
Yeah. Who was it? Name names. Go on. Who was it?
I
can't remember.
I think didn't Deeney take the kick off?
Yeah.
It went back to, I think, Decore, and then I think Decore just sort of gave him a hospital pass, and
I think it was. I think it was, actually.
Yeah, I think that's how it went, because everyone was looking at each other going, what the hell just happened?
I'll take your word for it. I can't remember.
I need to dig it out from YouTube.
Right, I know we've asked this before. This is just, I know a couple of people have asked me to ask this, but who was the best Watford player you have ever played with? And I know you answered this when you were on the phone to us over a year ago, but I know a lot of people obviously unfortunately didn't watch that podcast. So what's your
that's okay. I just think because of the period we played together and the success we had, it was probably my most successful period that I was in the team as a regular as well. So for me, it has to be Micah Hyde. The partnership we had together.
He's here, he's there, he's every bleeping where.
Yeah, and I just think we played off each other's strengths. He was very skillful. He was good on the ball. He could see a pass. He didn't mind a tackle, but he wasn't the best tackler. But I like getting stuck in, and I think we just had a partnership during that period. So I'd have to say Micah quite easily for that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely agree with that one.
I thought it was absolutely hilarious. During your time at Watford, you, especially from about 95 to about 98 time, every time you saw the highlights videos, every time there's a penalty or a free kick, I see you running over to the ref, shouting every single time there's a highlights. It was absolutely brilliant, because my old man used to always say when he watched the highlights, especially around definitely 95, 96, 94, 95, he says, every time there's a penalty, Johnno's coming running at that referee every time.
Oh, mate,
brilliant.
I wouldn't be on the pitch 5 minutes these days. I'd be either sent off for swearing at the ref or tackling someone. But
I liked your Nathan Blake one when Nathan Blake first game of the season in '95 did the overhead kick and you shoved him out the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, don't celebrate in our box, mate.
Mind you, we got our own comeuppance on that. You remember, I think Tommy Mooney scored against Wimbledon, and Mick Hartford, we all did the dead ant celebration.
Yeah, and he stamped on everyone, didn't he?
And Mick Hartford comes stamping through, and we're all rolling on the ground like that. He just...
I think I might have told you I actually met him last year, and I asked him about that. I said, how dare you stamp on him? And he just started laughing his head off. When he said, how did you remember that? I said, oh, tell me. I said, you were the only one who did it. That's why. And it was on like, Oh God, this other TV show that came up with. It's so hilarious. He just
It
laughed
was
when I
on
mentioned it.
funniest moments in football or something, wasn't it?
It was on that, yeah, and they think it's all over.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on that as well.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Awkward silence, boys.
It's all right.
I'm enjoying listening to this. I'm trying to think of stuff to ask, and then it's like I'll just get sidetracked because I like hearing all this.
What did you all do yesterday watching the game? Have you all got BT Sport or what happened?
Yeah.
What did you all
Well,
do?
I'd like to say thank you to Danny Iron for that. So that's the reason I did have BT Sport. So
Yeah,
But the club-
just watched it at home with the missus because
Yeah.
I Saturday mornings I coach football, so I had to rush back from there, got home and then just made it in time for kick-off. And we just chilled in Limerick and watched it. Was in more or less in tears when Chilwell scored, but then we jumped up because we live in a block of flats, so we must have woke everyone up or must have hurt everyone's ears because we literally jumped up when Dawson scored. And we literally must have banged and all sorts and Dawson scored. But no, it was it was good. But it was weird because like these two boys know I'm at every game, so it was very, very strange to not be there. But again, these things can't be helped. But it was good to
What are your guys' thoughts on the fake good, so. Crowd noise? Watching Sky, have you watched it?
Well, personally, I think there's no change at Man City.
No, Man City Stadium. It looks more packed than when there is fans there.
Yeah, because a lot of them are still stuck down London and near Stamford Bridge, aren't they?
Yeah.
So a lot of them can't make it up.
The TV screen. Did you see the screen he had in the corner? They couldn't even fill that with Man City fans.
Yeah, they had the bottom row was advertising, wasn't it?
Yeah, couldn't even fill that.
They said they had technical issues getting fans on.
Yeah, they didn't pay the rent.
Yeah,
they have technical issues getting fans in.
Yeah.
No, I've got to be honest. It's a strange. It's strange hearing the noise, but it does help when you watch the opportunity to hear the crowd noise because then you sort of think, it does feel like I'm there in a way.
I personally think it's all right because you're watching on the telly, especially because you just really watch the game anyway. You're not really watching the stands, are you?
No,
so you can sort of just have that in the background. I think it's been all right personally.
Big shout out to Rob from WD18 and Mr. Gordon Ramsay himself, Aidan. They were caught on the BT fan cams as well. So
that was brilliant when I saw that. I was in hysterics when I saw those.
They look like twin brothers. The haircuts.
Aidan celebrated. I think we were all celebrating like that.
He spilled his pot noodle because of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, no pot noodles. No pot noodles were harmed in the making of that fan window there. So just stress that.
I'll tell you what. When we did score yesterday, I went round a friend's house to watch it. The guy next door must have wondered what on earth was going on because he had the back doors open in his house.
Yeah. And
I just screamed and shouted at the TV when Dawson scored. The bloke looked over the fence going, "Is everything all right in there?" And mate went, "I saw Watford just scored. It's been mate. He just needs to calm down in 5 minutes." I walked out afterwards. I said, "What happened?" He said, "Oh, it's all right, next door neighbour." So I turned around and apologised to him. He said, "Oh no, it's all right. Crack on."
I was 50-50 with Hughes and Dawson. As soon as he scored that, I just went, right, Dawson man of the match.
Dawson, yeah. That's basically what the commentators said. The commentators were narrowing over them two, and then basically said Dawson scored. He deserved to be man of the match just for that goal. It was like I said, it was like watching Nicky. I thought Nicky Wright was playing, but Craig Dawson.
Yeah, it was the magician that's Craig Dawson.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if Nicky Wright watches this and hears that, he's going to have the biggest smile on his face, I reckon. He'll be like, yeah, how much one, yeah.
So that was pretty special.
I've got to be honest, I would have given Dawson man of the match anyway yesterday because the amount of times he stopped Vardy and got vital tackles in at the right time. I think I look back to the one in the first half where they got in down the right, cut it back, and somehow Dawson got his leg out in time to force it behind for a corner. At that point, I think it was only about 10, 15 minutes in. If that had gone in, would have been a different game because I doubt Foster would have been able to have kept that one out.
Dawson got home, emptied his pockets, and out popped Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
Out of his pocket.
Dropped him off on the M1.
Yeah.